Alright, hello everybody. Thank you for having us here today. My name is Erica Bellingham and I am the Panhellenic President.
My name is Nina Nguyen and I'm the Chair of the Unified Greek Council.
And my name is Michael Conan and I'm the President of the Fraternity Council.
And then we are also do not have representatives with us from the National Panhellenic Conference and the independent organizations, so we'll be representing them in the best way that we can today. So to start, we just wanted to give you guys a quick overview about what we're hoping to accomplish with this presentation today. So first, we'd like to provide some information about who the Center for Fraternity and Sorority Life is. We want to talk to you about the Osu Greek Community and how we interact and impact the student experience. And then lastly, we're going to talk about the challenges with our current space and our hopes with this new space that it would bring for our community, our department, and the student experience at Oregon State. So, as demonstrated by our mission, vision, and the values of the Osu Greek Community, this is a student center, whoa, let's try that again. As is demonstrated by our mission, vision, and values, the Osu Greek Community is a student center community that aligns with the values of the Oregon State University and aspirations of the Student Experience Center. Our community is a diverse community serving 46 individual chapters and 3 governing councils. Our combined membership is over 3,000 active students, and we are expecting to see an additional 3 to 5% growth in the next academic year. The current population is served by 1 full-time professional staff and 1 half-time graduate assistant. After 7 years without undergraduate student workspace, moving to the SEC created an opportunity to enhance and grow student engagement in the space that we currently occupy. As we look to the future, our current shared space suite will not adequately serve the collaborative needs of the community or the anticipated growth of full-time staff. Our current funding source is through for the center is through the general fund and programmatic support for the individual councils. Because we do not have a dedicated space to our center for our student, I'm sorry, it's early, I'm nervous. Because we do not have a dedicated space to the center, our student traffic has already outgrown the space that we have in the SEC 306. This creates challenges in advancing community building, social justice, and supporting an ever-expanding programmatic agenda for the OSU Greek community. One of the immediate limitations is student workspace. With 29 executive officers, the current space allocation limits opportunities for cross-council collaboration and opportunities to advance a social justice learning agenda. Additionally, we have a commitment to add a multicultural and social justice staff person who would not have an office in our current space.
How the new space will help us address these challenges is that this new suite would allow a space for a fully funded CFSL staff for the first time in 25 years, which is a very long time. The new space will build an environment that will enhance learning opportunities and provide an expansion of collaborative engagement as well as the evolution of the Greek community to serve and achieve the national prominence as a model for a contemporary Greek community. And how the new space will address these challenges is that currently, we already have a commitment for an intern for the upcoming fall term, and the space will allow us to continue to create paid student staff positions built on by the relationships developed by the incoming director of the Center for Fraternity and Sorority Life. The space will also allow us to commit resources towards a social justice learning agenda, issues of hypermasculinity, retention, and graduation rates, among many other things. Our hope is to have a staggered professional staffing pattern to staff the space during the SEC operating hours. And in contributing to enhancing the student experience, social justice and diversity issues are a primary focus of the learning agenda for the Greek community today. The Right Here, Right Now campaign that was initiated this year is an example of that. By providing a shared community space where dialogues can happen formally and informally, we will see students utilize the space more and find a sanctuary for themselves to be able to study and work and socialize and work on projects on to continue to increase those dialogues. And by having this dedicated space, we would enhance the visibility, accessibility of our space both to current and future OSU students, incoming parents, and alumni. And the inclusion of alumni and community partners in our space expands the opportunity for professional and career networking and expand the number of internship opportunities available to students that extend beyond the CFSL.
By having this dedicated space, the Oregon State Greek community can design a space that will enhance the knowledge of health issues and how it impacts the Greek student. We can also host collaborative conversations with CAPS about stress management techniques. By providing the kind of collaborative space that will not intrude on our current office suite partners, the Greek students will have the space they need to accelerate their learning around leadership and well-being, as well as address the issues of high-risk drinking behavior and sexual assault prevention. As you can see by our floor plan design, we see an increased capacity to attract students to the space and enjoy the enriched dialogue by having a shared collaborative space. What you cannot see on this floor plan is our commitment to mount on the wall the mission statements of all our Greek organizations as a tool for values-based conversations centered on creating positive cultural change. As you can see, our hope for the future for the space is in alignment with the SEC policy manual and is comparable to that of all the other suites within the SEC. On the handout, we've also included a letter from Melissa Yamamoto, Assistant Director of Leadership Development, in support of this proposal. In summary, the Oregon State University Greek community is involved in hundreds of other student organizations and every capacity of student leadership that OSU has to offer. Having just celebrated our first 100 years, the Greek community at Oregon State is committed to achieving an elite status in the North American fraternal movement. This space gives us the resources we need to achieve this aspiration. The Greek community is an engine for retention and the development of engaged alumni and future donors. We have faced many challenges this year and have come away with a commitment to create an inclusive community that provides the opportunities for all students to participate and thrive within the Oregon State Greek community. What we would like to do with our remaining time is speak to the committee more about what Greek life is truly about from our perspective and our experiences as undergraduates, members, and leaders within the Greek community. Greek life is so much more than the average student organization. It is more than meetings, study groups, or socials, more than the story that you hear on the news. For students on this campus, and for me, my Greek organization and our Greek community is my family, very literally. If it were not for the impact that this Greek community has had on the last 3 generations of my personal family, I would never be standing here on this campus today. The significance of Greek life is not in our accomplishments, in our statistics, or our accolades. It is in our relationships. It is the incredible support system that helped my pledge brother, who became president of a fraternity of 100 men, only to find out his mother had been diagnosed with cancer 2 months later. Upon entering Oregon State as a freshman, I immediately found a home in Greek life, full of people who supported me, challenged me, and encouraged me to develop myself as a person and as a student. Greek organizations on this campus, unlike many other student organizations, are left to fend for themselves with only the support of a handful of volunteer alumni and the arm length reach of their national headquarters on the other side of the country. And we are able to accomplish incredible feats of service, philanthropy, and community. With the support and resources that we need, and the university is ready to provide for us, maybe, we can follow in the footsteps of so many incredible Greek men and women who have come out of their collegiate years and gone on to change the world. It is clear on this campus that our Greek chapters breed personal development and student leadership. Now, please grant us the support and the space to develop our community into a premier group of organizations that will bring honor and distinction to this university that we call home.
As a transfer student, I had no intention of being a member of Greek life. After some major convincing by my dad, an OSU Greek alumni, I reluctantly went through recruitment. I had the same image in my head that a lot of people do. Greek life is just an expensive social group. After the first day of recruitment, I knew that I was wrong. The Greek community is filled with some of the kindest, most hardworking, and diverse people I've ever had the pleasure to meet. And even more than that, Greek life has allowed me to grow in more ways than I ever thought possible. The endless amounts of opportunity for academic success, community service, and relationship building is something that I will treasure forever and has truly prepared me for life after college, even more than a lot of my classes have. A new office for the Center for Fraternity and Sorority Life would encourage better collaboration and communication across councils, chapters, and with the university. While each of us has found a home within our chapters, my hope is that the new office space for the CFSL would become our Greek home. A place where individual chapters join as one to work to better our Greek and OSU community and to relax when we inevitably need it. The experiences of the Greek leaders in our community cannot be summarized in this meeting, but they can be seen through the hundreds of student groups they are involved with every single day. This would be a privilege for our community, and with opportunities such as our own collaborative space, we will be able to grow even more successfully on a local and national scale.
In my experience, this is my, sorry, I might cry. This is my 5th year here at Oregon State University, and I've overseen the Unified Greek Council for the past 4 years. So I've seen it go through a lot of transitions and trials and errors, and oftentimes and though our council houses 6 organizations, there are 8 multicultural Greek organizations on this campus that are active, and that's not including the inactive ones who don't necessarily have the membership count, but we're still trying to support and create visibility for them. These multicultural Greek organizations are often the forgotten group, as well as the independent organizations on this campus as well, because these organizations are not what people would think of when they think of traditional Greeks. They don't have houses, and they're very small in number. However, what people also forget is that these groups are full of very mighty students, and they're very multifaceted and very versatile. And over the years, being the forgotten group, it's created an environment where the students sometimes get depleted, on top of tackling academics, on top of challenging all the other issues that they face on this campus. Being a part of the marginalized communities on this campus and having those intersecting identities of those marginalized communities and facing those challenges already, being the forgotten group and not getting the necessary resources that they can get from this university, created an environment where now we're dwindling in numbers. However, this year has been a year of many successes, and we had our very first full open house where administrators, faculty, and staff members were able to participate and really see the highlights of these organizations and how much they've contributed to this university. We put on the first ever Multicultural Greek Leadership Summit this year, and it's the first one ever in the Pacific Northwest, and other universities on this coast right now are looking at us to be the forefront and the model for their universities and their multicultural Greek councils. And we have also developed many programs within our own organization and revitalized our new constitution. And so the momentum is going, and these students are now excited again, and they're ready to receive the support that they deserve in order to flourish and grow again and develop their numbers. And this space will allow for that, because right now the space in CFSL, we have one station that's designated to the Unified Greek Council as well as the National Panhellenic Council. And I hope in telling you that you can recognize how problematic it is to put all the students of color at one station while allowing Panhellenic and IFC their own separate stations, and then independent organizations don't necessarily fall in there either. This larger space will allow designated areas for all of these organizations and chapters and students for themselves, but at the same time for them to be able to build community among others so that they can continue to grow and flourish. Do you all have any questions for us?
Yeah, I would like to open up for any questions you guys may have about the plans, about anything like that.
Yes.
Can you clarify how, are you student fee funded?
General.
No, general funded.
Okay. talked about, like I heard something about staggered hours. Can you help us understand a little bit? Would it be open during our business operation hours here in the building?
Yes.
Yeah, the
whole
hope
day,
is
or-
that we would be able to have a reception desk, it's on the floor plan, and have a student, have student workers there throughout the day like a lot of the other offices do, so. Any other questions for us?
And so all the operations you currently have residing in the SEC would move into the new space in the SEC as well as maybe additional people.
Yeah, yeah, because we'll have a new director,
Right.
hopefully next week. And then we'll also hopefully be able to have 2 more full-time staff added to that, which the office right now only has space for 1 more. So that's one of our biggest challenges right now. So.
Have you tracked how many students have come into the new facility here that it serves? Do you have any numbers with regard to that and how that's not meeting your current needs?
I don't know if we have specific
Yeah.
statistics on it. You know, I don't think we have a really great way to track it at this point. But you know, it has been used a lot more than Snell was. But most of that is just the leadership, kind of who the desks are made for, and the idea is that the general workspace and the general kind of lounging space would open it up to a lot more of just the general members of the community to come in and interact more with the center and with the other council leaders. So there's definitely a lot of room for growth.
Can you clarify what the position or upcoming professional positions that will be added are?
Yes, so we are hiring a full-time director, and then the other 2 positions are 1 full-time or FTE to advise the IFC and Panhellenic councils, and then a second one to advise the multicultural groups and also have a social justice focus. And then in addition to that, we have a commitment for an intern and potentially those student staff we were talking about. Anything else?
Seeing no other questions, thank you all very much.
Thank you.